What's going on, everyone? Slovash here. Wanted to bring everyone a little update. I know I haven't updated in a while, and I wanted to bring you a video. I got inspired by another YouTuber that does a lot of Marvel Hero content. He did a video disclosing his top 10 favorite heroes on this game, and I watched the whole thing, and it's funny how different everyone is when they approach this game, and I just kind of wanted to follow suit with that, and being a veteran player, playing since the beta, and just having a lot of hours and time invested in this game and all the characters and all that stuff. I wanted to bring you guys my top 10 heroes that I enjoy playing the most on this game, and by no means do I mean any of these heroes that I don't pick are bad or anything like that. It's just these are the ones that I enjoy for one reason or another over the rest of the roster. And kicking off my 10 spot, and I'm going to try to do this just in one fell swoop. My number 10, top 10 characters at the number 10 spot would be Ghost Rider. With his new, role in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it made me really want to test him out again, and he's gotten a lot of reworks, and visually he looks stunning. That's probably my main reason for wanting to play Ghost Rider, in addition to just the fact that he is a badass. I mean, he's like, in the actual Marvel, comic books, he's like one of the strongest people in all of Marvel, so it's pretty fun to play as him. I also got the Ghost Rider team up. Hopefully I can get him to turn around. Come on, here we go. So the team up over here looks fucking sick too. So I like playing the Ghost Rider with the Ghost Rider. Just tons and tons of visual fire. The build that I use for my Ghost Rider is a ranged mental build. I don't really like the chain whipping and all that stuff. I have a couple builds like that. I've tried them, and I don't enjoy them as much as I do just really just pouring out huge chunks of fire and keeping everything at a range and throwing your bike out there and all that good stuff. So what the other YouTuber had done, and I'll just go ahead and say it was Jayshockblast. I'm a big fan of his. I follow a lot of his videos. I'll link his channel in mine. Not that he needs me to help him out. It should probably be the exact opposite. But anyways, I watch his videos, and he's the one who inspired me for this. So in my 10 spot, again, it's Ghost Rider. We'll go ahead and do a little quick cosmic patrol with him. I think all of the characters that are on my top 10 list I've passed the trial with. So we'll just hop into Midtown Madness. And I'm hoping you guys can still hear me. I'm going to try to adjust some of these sound effects down. And I'll turn character volume down, other players stuff down. There we go. So hopefully you can hear me. I like to play fully zoomed out just because you get the best visual effects this way. But my ranged Ghost Rider is just spewing fire everywhere, and then the other Ghost Rider team up just spews fire everywhere. My favorite moves that Ghost Rider has, obviously, besides just spewing out fire from his mouth, the Damnation move is one of my favorites. I like his Spirit of Vengeance passive now that they've reworked it so that he gets that like contract. I think it's the Infernal contract, where the lower health he's at, the more damage he does. Works really, really well with kind of just like living on the edge. And then right here, this move, Penance Stare. Now that they've made it like a little bit farther ranged, it just shits on people, and I love that move of his. The bike is no longer, I mean, you can hold it down and rev it around and stuff like that. You probably can't even see what I'm doing, there's so much fire. So the bike used to be a charge up, now it's not, but you can still hold it down, even though it doesn't do any damage, but you can just let it go. So you do a couple dots from a distance, and then you can use your Penance Stare and then really just melt a dude from a distance. And I like to just sit back and spray. And then my only chain move is Flay, because this does a ton of damage against guys that have a bunch of stacks of Hellfire. And everything in this build is all revolved around Hellfire. So as you can see, there's just tons of flames fucking everywhere on the screen. It's just great. So maybe I'll just kill a boss with each guy, and then we'll go back and discuss stuff. We'll discuss things. Ghost Rider again is he's very, very durable, especially when you're under the effects of Spirit of Vengeance. So if you're looking for a durable ranged character, I would suggest Ghost Rider. He's really nice. And then this is by far my favorite travel power, I think, in the whole game is Ride. This burning ability that he leaves behind will just shit on like white mobs, white trash mobs. People call them white trash mobs. I don't understand why, but yeah, basically any guy that's not elite, as long as you have a shit ton of points in like the Omega system. I like to really bump up, I think it's Caranthera. Here it is. Yeah, Caranthera, the damage versus normal and elite enemies. If you kick that all the way up to 30 points, that fire that he leaves behind on the ride will just annihilate people. So it works out really well for trash clear. So that's Ghost Rider in a nutshell. Also, the Halloween ghost spirit visual on him might be the sickest thing I've ever seen. So there's that too. All right, so that was my 10 spot, and my honorable mention for the 10 spot. I'm just going to go ahead and do it now rather than wait till I get to number 1. My honorable mention for number 10, it was like a very close tie because I really like him as well, is Nightcrawler. And bear with me while I do this for a second. I'm going to have to transfer something from each guy. Let's see. Ghost Rider's, his name starts with a G, so let's go up to G. I only have one good stash spot, or pet. It's a stash pet, but it's got like the best rolls ever on it, so I just move that around. It's really easy to do, and it's better than leveling up a whole bunch, because that is like a nightmare trying to roll +3 to fighting. But with the rework, who knows how pets are going to work, because they're going to have to get a whole new set of unique abilities. But anyways, guys, honorable mention here, and I have some cheat notes here. I was thinking about this a lot today, because there's so many people in this game, and some of them are so fun to play as, and you know, sometimes you just get the itch to play as a certain person. But this costume on Nightcrawler is fucking amazing. I love it. And also the Archangel team up with him is really sweet. They both look like badasses. So visually it's pleasing. On higher graphic settings, a lot of his moves are really pretty. His clouds, his purple clouds when you do the flash and grab are so nasty. So reasons why I like to play Nightcrawler is his teleporting abilities, obviously what he's known for. He's known for his ability to teleport. He travels super duper fast, and his playstyle is pretty unique. I like it a lot. You lay down like an AoE, this does a shitload of damage, and then you use flash and grab, and like you'll pull guys into your pool of like AoE area. And then he's got some crash down abilities. I really like Shadow Meld a lot too. This is like your oh shit button. You can just like escape anything and heal the whole time you're in Shadow Meld. He has one of the coolest signatures, I think, in this game. Not because of what it is, but how it works and the recharge rate on it. You basically just always have, you know, just it's like a buff all the time. It can stack up to 3 times, but this is like the first time they've done something like this in this game, I think, where they have this charge mechanic. I mean, besides like the traps on like Black Cat or something like that, but for a signature, you gain 1 charge every 6 seconds and you can max at 5. Basically, you get, I always leave this buff bar up so you can see this. So you get 9 or 10 seconds of this buff, and this buff literally increases your damage and your attack speed, and you refresh it. So once you get 3, you can just like go out and do your shit, your crash downs, and then you got execute on him, and then his brimstone beatdown is just a bunch of teleporting. So it works out really well for staying alive. So his movement is nuts. And again, his signature is crazy good. Now, pardon me for playing like dog shit right now. I haven't really played on him in a while. But when I did play on him a bunch, it was very effective. I would highly recommend him for like terminal running or like doing Ultron's quest. All you really got to do is just make sure you're keeping up those 3 buffs from your signature. And then once you get in shit, you just shadow meld out, run away. You can drop in with this because it does more damage once you're cloaked. Just gotta make sure you keep some of this in your rotation. And then you basically just keep stomping away on these bosses. So you can run away, jump back in with this. Anyways, spam the hell out of it. Let's do his ultimate. I think he just basically turns invisible. So he's invincible right now and invisible, and I think he just does massive amounts of damage to anyone within like a giant circle of your screen, and then you'll become available again to like actually control him. But it's all auto targeting, so it's really nice for people that don't want to think about stuff. So anyways, this is the build that I've had success with, as I spam the fuck out of his signature, because you can also do it that way, but you really only need to do it 3 times so you get your 30% damage buff. But just keep it up once you do that, and you should be just gravy. Wow, this man-ape is just against me. A ziggurat. Gibrams. But yeah, his movement is why you would probably play him, to be honest. That's just fucking nuts how quickly you can move around. And his evasiveness is off the charts. He's a little squishy if you do get hit too many times, but with the right gear on him, he can be quite effective. So that's my honorable mention for this number 10 spot. I chose Ghost Rider just because of his more recent update, and because right now with him being in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I feel like he's a little bit more popular. And once you have a really good graphics card in your computer, his visuals are just, they're so pretty. You just gotta fucking spew fire everywhere, and it's great. So moving on to my number 9 spot, I'm gonna go ahead and do the smart thing and pull this out first. We are going to go with my number 9 pick out of my top 10, and that is Cyclops. A lot of people might think I'm retarded for saying this, but there is one build in particular that made Cyclops extremely fun for me to play. And that build was the support team leader build that one of the guys in the forum came up with. I made a video of me doing a, danger room using this build, and it was just crazy. All the weird abilities you get from Omega system, and all these non-used artifacts where they just lay down like circles on the ground of just like AoE kind of stuff. They're just really fun, and I really like some of these off type of like uniques he's got here, and his range is just, it's fucking nutty. So basically everything's about supporting your team. So if you have a bunch of like really high DPS guys in your group, or you have people that just need some extra healing or damage or whatever, between the Omegas and just his ability to just lay down long range shit and just basically weaken and buff damage for just about everyone in your group, he's pretty damn solid. So again, let's go kill a boss here in Midtown. You can kind of see how it works. You still have to do the beam weaving, which is the focus beam and the optic beam, and you just kind of like pulse them to do max damage. But I'm going to probably play him like horse shit because I haven't played him in a long time. But let's get in here on this. Let's focus on Taskmaster. So you can just beam everyone, try and get your optic devastation in there. His signature is one of the best signatures in the game. I think it literally goes to the outer brinks of your screen as far as damage goes. Almost all of his moves do. So here's the beam weave. That totem is mine. This circle on the ground is mine. So if anyone like steps in those, they get bonus damage. But you just stand back. It's usually really chill gameplay with Cyclops. I mean, once you get past the trial and the guys aren't focusing on you, he's just, I mean, if you think of ranged characters, he is probably in my opinion, one of the best range characters, because as soon as you aim at something, you're putting damage on it. It's like now, right now. Like it's good long range damage. All of his moves that are wide arcs of damage, they apply to just about everyone. He's got Overwatch, which revives. I don't know if you can read that while I'm moving. Of course you can't because I'm retarded. Overwatch revives the nearest defeated ally. So it's just like a bunch of team support stuff. And then Force Multiplier. This is really good. For you and your allies, you get dexterity on top of some of his other things. But just mainly, you're just basically weakening the hell out of everyone on the screen because this move's so spammable. This is the Master Tactician, just boosting up a ton of bonus experience, and you're slowing everyone down with Iceman, Optic Devastation from distance, just fucking wrecks. Visor off. This is just an amazing signature. I mean, it literally goes as far as your screen can see a guy. If you can see a toenail, you're gonna put a ton of damage on him. Look at that up there. Just fucking up the whole Midtown area. And this rift that I just created is one of the things you get from some of those artifacts I'm wearing. So this build is on it's on the Marvel Heroes info, and it just wrecks. In my opinion, it's just super fun, and with his role and his ability to just pour on damage and support your team, just really made it a lot of fun to play as. So like in danger rooms and stuff, he's really good. I think I already killed bosses, so let's get back to town. Oh, of course, there's a guy sitting there shooting me. Even with the faster body slider, I couldn't get out. So his roll is pretty simplistic, pretty shitty roll, but it works really well when you target lock your guy with focus beam, so he can stay alive pretty damn well too. So that's Cyclops, guys, and of course I got Havoc, his brother, as his team up. These two kick some ass from long range. So that was my number 9 spot. So now we're going to move along. Let me drop off my pet. Moving on to my number 8 favorite character, or, you know, top 8, number 8 character, I guess. I'm fucking rambling like crazy. So long story short, I bought this game because of Cable. I think as a whole, the one person I'd like to see in the Marvel comic universe more than any other hero would be Cable. When they said in Deadpool 1 that they're going to have Cable for Deadpool 2, I got a boner in the movie theater, actually. So super excited about him. I think he's a very interesting character. I played Marvel Avengers Alliance before I played this game. It was just like a Flash player game on Playdom's website. I know they made a couple of phone games that all suck, but they're closing all those down. And the reason I switched over to this game is because of Diablo 2 and because of Marvel Avengers Alliance. And Cable was my favorite person to play as on Marvel Avengers Alliance. He had the coolest like abilities and stuff. And in this game, after his review, he's just so good, and I like that he's got all these different builds that you can play as on him, and I'm really excited to see what he'll look like after the review, or not the review, but the game mechanic updates, whatever the hell they say, Diablo 3.5, if you will. But anyways, Cable, I play him as a ranged mental build. Ooh, I already got a pet. Okay, so yeah, it's just a bunch of areas and a bunch of mental abilities, so a lot of his stuff will immobilize and will throw up some shields to do some damage reduction. He's got these holographs that do their own moves. They're really sick. They take a lot of heat for you. Got the Deadpool team up, obviously. I got Concussion Blast in here because he's a hybrid energy and mental character, so I use the Power Cosmic, which is really nice when you don't have a ton of Odin marks. You can use these. These come from World Stones. So if you got a bunch of World Stones, you can get a really good legendary for a hybrid type hero. He's got a bunch of like off-brand types of artifacts up top that actually I think are kind of his best in slot. But anyways, guys, let's just go ahead and get him out into Midtown and see how we do. He just he can just lay down numbers. And I think, honestly, one of my favorite moves, besides his Foresight Bomb, which is, I'll just do it in here, he basically, like, teleports forward, teleports back, people get attracted to this thing, and then it blows up, like, gigantic on the screen. But this move is, like, his specialization move, Telekinetic Overload. This move just, like, picks guys up and slams them down. It looks so forceful and badass. It's like, seriously one of my favorite, like, visual moves in the game. And again, Cable's teleport is on par with Nightcrawler and Deadpool. It's so fucking fast and so good. And it can go right through buildings and shit. So let's find someone. Okay, no one. Oof, God, just fucked him up. But yeah, this is the other thing about Cable is you can put these holograms down, you can put these walls down. These make, like, basically all of your projectiles do a lot less damage to you. But he can just move and be evasive and fuck people up from range. He's got dot layer after dot layer. And you see how well those holograms tank for you. And he's got built-in regeneration, which is another really sweet ability of Cable. And he's got probably the fastest cooldown auto revive in the game. It has, like, I think if you have enough points into it, if you die, it's only like 2 minutes that you have to wait before you automatically get another free revive. So you mix that in like an area where you need to stay alive, like, you know, Cosmic Midtown, like where I'm at now, or anywhere really where, you know, you might miss out on boss drops or something. It's just like, it's crazy how much presence you can have constantly out here. Fuck these Chandler relics. So yeah, the building I'm talking about is I think it's built into, no, it's built into this. His if you're defeated, look at that cooldown. If you have enough points in the Techno-Organic Virus, you regenerate maximum health and spirit when you're defeated. Cooldown of 3.7 minutes. So I don't know that there is someone you know, faster reviving than that, to be honest. And then his automatic health regeneration that kicks in after 40% maximum health is gone, and the, like, automatic damage reduction. He's very durable. And between the holographs and laying down your little walls that reduce projectiles, he's a force to be reckoned with. I really enjoy playing him in some of the harder in-game content where you can just tiptoe around bosses and just hit him with your mental bullets. Once you get locked onto him, and, you know, you keep your dot layers on him, and you got your illusions out, and you're just doing your overloads and shit on him, it's like, it's too good. And basically you keep the concussion blast in this build because it's energy damage, not mental, and again, it's just for the proc of some of your artifacts and legendaries and things like that. So that's the build I play with Cable. And again, he was my number 8 spot. So let me drop this off of him. I never put it on him. Okay, so this is really hard to do when you're about to piss your pants, because that's me right now. I should not have drank so much water. We're going to move to number 7, and hopefully I keep this video under 30 minutes. It doesn't look like I will, though. Number 7 spot, going with Invisible Woman. And it's funny, there weren't too many similarities between, you know, what someone else enjoys playing and what I did. I got another pet. I got the doggy. The dog. So Invisible Woman, I super duper enjoyed playing her because obviously I'm a huge Fantastic Four fan, but then she's got some just super unique abilities that really no other person has. She just has a ton of support abilities, damage reduction with this shield dome. This thing just reduces damage for everyone inside of it. You got invisible combat, where you can just basically stay invisible regardless of how much damage you're doing for a certain amount of seconds and gain a ton of buffs to damage and shit like that. Flight move, obviously, hovering on the disc, that's sweet. She's got basically invisibility and health regeneration almost at will. Her signature is interesting where it has basically charges, but it doesn't say it. You can just activate it like 4 times, I believe. And it works 2 ways. One is you can activate it and just have a shitload of damage reduction for a certain number of seconds, or you can keep pulsing it and just like fuck people up. It just does a ton of damage. But all of her moves basically cycle around the secondary resource, which is focus. So you can just apply dots from distance, throw down some AoEs, do some invisibility at will, and then drop even more powerful moves. But guys, to be honest, the only reason I played Invisible Woman is because of these things. The fucking crushers, man. If you don't have this maxed in your build, you are missing out on some serious fun. This move alone is what makes me want to play her. You basically summon these giant like mace balls that just like roll around and automatically like mash people. It's so much fun. It's like basically 3 summon like balls. So you basically turn like Midtown into like a giant game of pinball, and these things just run around. They make the stupidest sounds ever, and they just smash everything. It's so satisfying. So another one of her mechanics is you gotta build up 3 stacks of her damage, and then after that we can just do the signature, and when you do the signature you get all your stacks back, so you can keep this up indefinitely. But let's do some fucking crushers. These things just work around and fucking mash shit. It's so fucking funny. Oh my god, I just stand still and they just go and fucking squish everything. I don't know if you guys can hear it over my voice, but they make some seriously stupid sounds. So much fun, man. That and this move immobilizes and like does damage, and got the invisibility. She has really good damage, by the way. Actually, I think if you look at the time to kill chart, not my build exactly, but some of the builds that are out there for her, she has some of the best time to kills on the raid boss dummies in the game. So she can put a fucking whooping out there if you need to. It's just all about managing her invisibility stacks and things like that, or her focus stacks, I think. But this is my build. It's focused around this move called Crashing Wave Style. Has a lot to do with being invisible, and it has good survivability, and then obviously you got the crushers in the build, so that's all that really matters. Honestly, if there was a way to make all your points going to crushers, I probably would just do that, because you just run around like a dipshit and just do your own thing and throw down a couple bubbles and basically immobilize everyone. And yeah, if you pulse this move slowly, you can really get a lot of benefit out of it. But if you're fighting a really hard boss, you can just elect to keep all your stacks on and just get like huge damage reduction. For each stack, you get 20% less damage taken. So you can, I think, maybe there's 5 activations of it. I'm not really sure. Start with 4 stacks. So you can get like 60% damage reduction basically after you activate it. And then another cool thing is if you're outside of combat for long enough, as long as you're not actually hurting anyone, you're always invisible. So if like I'm standing over here after a fight in Midtown, I automatically through my passives will turn invisible, so no one's gonna fight me. And that's another reason why I don't like a team up that's active on my Invisible Woman, is because if my team up was here, these dudes would jump over on my team up, and then they'd start ground stomping, and that would actually cause me to take damage, which would bring me out of invisibility. So that's just a little tip when you're playing Invisible Woman. Put someone on passive like the Iron Man, because he gives like energy, which also affects all of her moves, which are energy based. So again, she can just put a fucking thumping out there, man. Anywho, so that's Invisible Woman. get the fuck out of here. So that was my number 7 spot for my top 10. I don't know why I keep going back to the shield training room. I guess it's because I can like show you moves and stuff. So she had Lucky the dog. I don't need to switch anything around. But again, basically all of my gears involved around, and I haven't even updated her blessings. It probably should be all ranged because I think most of her stuff is ranged area. So these should all be low-key runes. I haven't done that. I haven't played on her since the blessing rework really, but she's really good. Like if you haven't tried her, you should, because you'll probably be really surprised at how well she works. I know a lot of people overlook her, but she's pretty damn good. Okay, so my number 6 spot character is... who's going to be? It's going to be Ultron. And I only have Phil Coulson on here because of the passive effect and the fact that it just summons more guys for you. So I like to play Ultron in a physical type build because he's got a lot of punching and the lift move, the Operation Slam, where it throws guys into the air. When you get someone to die with that move, which it hits like a fucking truck on my build, the body will just ragdoll straight up like they had a jetpack on and died midair. His signature is great. Operation Crush, this is your ranged move. Got this move, which is a guaranteed brutal strike, Operation Smash. He's really durable, and he's got some meat shields out here. These guys can just kind of tank for you, so they're a good distraction. Plus, he's got a flight travel power, so he's pretty solid. He's tanky. He has a lot of different variable builds through his point spec system up top here. This is the bandwidth. A lot of people will get creative with that and try to make their own combos. I just elected to do what I did. This is basically, like I said, all crushing force or like physical type stuff. With the augment to slam and repair protocol, so he gets a lot more health, better restore power, and indestructible bodies revive is 20% faster. So if I do die, the cooldown is a lot faster. So let's get out here to a boss. So basically you can apply that vulnerability. You saw the slam there. Let's go ahead and do this signature. Signature is beast mode. Guaranteed brutal. His cooldowns on his moves are just very, very quick, which is another reason why he's very good. He has a lot of hard-hitting moves in this rotation. I mean, you just saw that. That's Operation Slam, where he lifts the guys up. It's like basically every 8 seconds you're getting like an 8 million brutal hit. If you do brutal, it's a lot of damage. And usually Operation Smash is hitting like a freight train too. And again, these guys can just go around and meat shield for you. And if they ever do die, you just summon them like almost instantaneously. So I don't know what I'm doing right, but I'm getting a lot of Eternity Splinters right now. So you got some ranged, you got some summons, you got some melee, you got some ranged areas, you got some guaranteed brutals. Signature is a quick cooldown. Oh, it's not as quick as it used to be, but it's a steroid buff, and it summons 2 of the drones, and it just works really well. They kind of heat seek guys in this area. He pours out a lot of damage, so he's a summoner that you don't really need to focus on like anything summoning related. I did use the one of the 9 rings because you do have melee and ranged, so it benefits him anyways, but then it's just a lot of summon ally damage and health, so I chose that over like his physical rings. And then I also like this little combo of Scroll Medallion of Bravery and Hyde's Formula on him, because in melee area you usually want to just keep pumping away on him, and with a good core like a trifecta like I got on him, you'll pop that invulnerability, you'll gain tons of more damage. And the only thing that this is riding on is having med kits, which pretty soon you'll have infinite, just be on a cooldown only. So that makes him pretty good. That is my Number 6 spot. Let's just go ahead and do this here. That's, oh, I didn't even have that on. See, that would have made me a lot better. But let's just change here. I think no one's coming around for a second, so I should have time. Number 5 for me is Electra. Electra is one of my favorite new released heroes, mainly because of this dash. I mean, it's arguably better than a teleport in my opinion. As I die. I think I just died. I can't actually tell. But she just pours out some fucking damages. She's got this auto kill move. And then her ultimate is pretty sick if you are under buffs. As you'll see here shortly. It's just thumping on these dudes. And then this mechanic with the marked for death kind of thing is really interesting. And then she's got a lawnmower type move. I just call these lawnmower moves. I'm a huge fan of these lawnmower moves because they allow you to move through people effortlessly. So you can basically never get body blocks stuck in an area while you're doing damage. Holy shit, I'm gonna have to fucking clean out my stash. So there's a few characters that have like lawnmower moves. And I know that's not the real name of them, but it's basically like a moving melee. But if you ever play a character like this or Blade or someone, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Basically, you just run through people. Hers actually looks like a lawnmower, though, I think. When I play her a lot, everything's based around like bleeds and applying the mark of death. And I like to do that by just using this move and then dashing back. And then it'll apply the things, and then you can instantaneously execute people this way. This move right here behind you, and there's another one, she throws a knife. She has 2 of these type of moves, but they kind of like share a spot. But behind you, I think, is one of the coolest moves they've introduced into this game in a while. It basically lets you instantaneously kill any guy that doesn't have a boss marker above their head. So even if the guy has tons and tons and tons of health, like Hulkbusters, at one point they didn't. So this guy right here, he's got a good amount of health, but basically just teleport to him, he's dead. And basically any person that's like that, anyone that doesn't have a boss tag over their head or even mini boss tag over their head, you can kill them in one shot as soon as they have that mark for death on them, which is super handy when you're doing terminal runs or like characters that just have a ton of health that aren't special. They're just like huge fucking meat shields, like Tromo or whatever the guy's name is in here. You can just wax his ass, I'm pretty sure. Excuse me, that's my chair creaking. Oh, I gotta get that. There we go. Ooh. I don't even know why I pick up EXP orbs anymore. I got max megas. So anyways, that is why I like Electra a lot. She also has a very good passive effect, if you ask me. Kind of makes Daredevils look like shit. Let's see. I really should put some WD-40 on this chair or something, huh? Pretty bad, especially when you gotta piss. Okay, so she's got physical and damage versus bosses, whereas I think Daredevil is just like damage versus bosses. It's not quite as good, I don't think, but you know, because you're kind of locked into melee. But anyways, guys, I'll probably actually put his on over Cyclops since I don't need any energy damage or EXP gain any longer. But yeah, that's Electra. I highly recommend her for one-shots and long terminals like Doom and things like that with her movement ability. So like this right here where it says go kill Mandarin, like I would do the Mandarin on her because she can move so fucking fast. It's insane. And she's invisible, so you basically don't take damage the whole time you're teleporting. Like some characters, like Cable or whatever, people will shoot at you. See, I think I broke the game, actually. I just teleported so fast. I don't know what that was about. But, of course, I'm fucking this up big time. Let me pull out the map. I mean, her movement is just fucking nuts. She goes through pretty much all walls, everything. stunned there. Ooh. An Agent of Hydra medallion. Like that. Let's get these files. So yeah, basically she's good for any kind of like individual boss hunting or anything like that. I'll just go back to town. I don't feel like running over to that portal. So that is why Electra's in my number 5 spot. All right, so let's go ahead and move into number 4. Number 4 of my top 10 is going to go to Emma Frost. If I could find her. Where the fuck is she? There she is. Now, I was a huge fan of Emma before her update, but after her update, she hits even harder. So she just became that much better. Emma really shines because she's got so many dot layers from a range, and she's got this cool mechanic where she can turn into diamond form and just gain a ton of defense. And now that she has like a dedicated running move, she really doesn't have like a downside, I don't think. She's got a ton of pets that just shit all over guys, ton of AoE moves, just can really wax some people's ass. Like, especially when you got a ton of trash mob guys. A lot of her stuff like fears and locks and just applies stuff that has really cool mechanics. Her signature makes everyone come to you and take a knee. There's another fucking Eternity Splinter. As I die, trying to grab that. These little fire bots, they do entirely too much damage now after all these updates, but let's go ahead and fuck him up from a distance here. Her whip is great. I love that addition. And then also now she's got a spear that she can throw that will do some damage from a distance. Go ahead and come on in here. The only thing I suggest is using her signature basically on cooldown, just because you'll have spirit management issues otherwise. But with her spear, and if you are in normal form, this move right here, Diamond Mind, activate that every so often. You'll gain a ton of your health back and a ton of your mana back. Ooh, got another. They must have increased the intel drops because it wasn't like this yesterday. But anyways, guys, she's got a ton of dots and abilities that just damage people over time. Her Psychic Spear is an execute. The whip hits like a fucking train, and makes all of your other mental moves do a lot of damage. And I really like Psychic Blast as my my main damage dealer. The cone activates really fast, does damage per second per tick, and then anyone who's hit by it also damages themselves whenever they touch you. And then this Inspired Minion is so fucking good, man. I don't even think I did Telepathic Mastery. That's just like normal points, but she's all around in a really good spot. She can summon a pet. Basically any elite guy in the game, you can just go make him yours, and he'll gain all of his affixes that he had when you basically claimed him. So I don't know where it is on mine. Maybe it's on like the 3rd bar. But good pet to get is in the one-shot zoo area. The guy who's in the I think it's the underwater aquarium area, you can get this little shark dude. His name's the Big Kahuna. He always has really good modifiers on him, and he's an elite and he hits really hard. Typically you want a melee character as a pet for Emma because she'll be ranged unless you do the diamond build. But if you're doing ranged mental, you probably want a melee guy so he goes up and gets in their face. But he's got like the poison, and he's got commanding aurora, so he's pretty fucking good. He makes your team ups better, and then if you have your gear on with like your Cyclops and all that shit, he'll also get that commanding aurora. But anyways, she's durable. One of the things I suggest doing with her when you're playing is do a knee, so you turn into diamond form and then do your running around, because now you have a lot more durability, a lot more defense, and you can always regenerate your shit by activating that move to gain all your defense back. So if you have to run to a boss, this is the way to do it, is to make sure you're in diamond form first. Because then as soon as you activate a mental move, you'll flip back to normal form, and this will change into something different. So she's got like the two different abilities things going. So depending on which form you're in, she gets different effects. So it makes for a really interesting play. And overall, she's just a really solid character. Really good damage, good defense, and can summon anyone that you really like. I mean, you can be running around with a shield agent. You can be running around with one of Sinister's versions of Cyclops or Wolverine or whatever. I mean, just the sky's the limit with her and her ability to summon people. As long as they're not a boss or a mini boss, you can basically have them yours. So it can be anyone in the game, which makes it really interesting to see who people pick. So anyways, Emma's awesome, and I'm moving on because I don't know what else to say about her other than she's good. Moving on to my number 3 favorite character. I'm glad I don't have to piss as bad now. I wish I was wearing a diaper. I just pissed my pants. I'm sure that's not what you guys want to hear. All right, so number 3. If you can't already guess who it is, let me tell you. It's Blade. Blade is one of my favorite heroes out there. I like the whole premise of a vampire hunter kind of thing. As a kid growing up, I loved watching the Blade movies with like Wesley Snipes. I think he's just badass and black, and he's got all of his moves where he's basically a vampire but has to suppress it. But really, in this game, the reason why Blade is so high up for me on my list is because I don't really actually know if anyone does as much damage as Blade does. Like, I know people say Moon Knight does a lot of damage, which it's true, he does. His signature on that last hit does a lot of damage, but Blade does some serious fucking damage. And just his lawnmower ability, that's one way of doing it. But when you get his signature up to 20, or not his signature, but his ultimate up to 20. Sorry, I'm trying to play too. When you get his signature up to 20, his ultimate up to 20. Jesus Christ, I'm ruining this. When you get it up to 20, and you need to go wipe a boss off the map, let me show you how this works. You get your 10 stacks of Bloodlust, and you get a team up like Rescue, where you're getting some extra health. You pop this, then you go over to your boss, and then you fucking shred him like this. This is Midtown on Cosmic. Are you fucking kidding me? That's 2 bosses in like a tenth of a second. I swear to God, there's not another hero that can seriously do that with people around. If that Silver Surfer wasn't next to me to boost their health up, they probably would have both been dead before he even got on the screen. It's just, he does so much damage with his Never Sated build. It's incredible. And then this move right here, this is the other reason why I love Blade so much. Hyper Toxic Grenade. This might be one of the most satisfying moves in this game, for real. You throw this little grenade out, and then all this, like, your whole screen just turns into a giant explosion. That move right there, with how short the cooldown is of fucking 8 seconds, I could just do that all day. I would just run around and level up only doing that, I think. And he has other grenades too, so I mean, like, that's not the end of it for him. But I mean, he's got, the lawnmower where it applies bleed, so you can just keep running and then throw that back there, and probably everyone on the screen is gonna die anyways. But then you can do your smash down and apply even more vulnerability, and then you can just throw the grenade, and then they all just start exploding like they're made out of, dynamite or something. It's insane. It's like a chain reaction. Oh, hey Tromo. Let's make you go bye-bye. There you go. So that's his last 2 hits. They just did 16 mil and 18 mil. I think that was only one of the 3 last hits, because I've seen it hit for 20 mil and then like a double 20 mil on his third hit, because this melee signature, his last hit I think does 3 really rapid hits. So there's that. He just does so much damage, man. That's honestly why I'd play Blade. It's a high risk, high reward kind of build. You're obviously living on the edge of dying all the time because you're bleeding out to like nothingness. But if you can stay alive, you can really get that 10 stacks of Bloodlust going, walk up to these bosses and absolutely shit on their faces. Look at that shit. That was like 3 20 millions in a row. Moon Knight might hit for 32 million one time, but not 60 million. I mean, seriously, that's so much damage. Blade is like the ultimate patrol boss killer. It's I don't know. That's who I'd play if I was trying to, like, when it was the Civil War event, or maybe no, it was the I think it was the birthday event. The birthday event where the bosses in Industry City were dropping like cake slices every time they die. I farmed Industry City for like a week and got so many fucking cake slices with Blade because I could shred people with this move, this signature. That's just so much damage. And then you throw these out, and then he's still got this execute mechanic. Oh god, it's so much damage. Anyways, I don't have any more room. I could play Blade forever. As long as you get the build down for Never Sated and you don't have to worry about your dying anymore, and you have decent, you know, a decent idea of what your spirit is going to be like. God, that grenade's so good. He has incredible damage output, and that's why you'd play Blade, to be really honest. So enough talking about Blade. I'm gonna, you know, get an E-peen here if I keep talking about him. He's just incredible. He really is absolutely incredible for DPS, and I don't know that anyone is really on par with him. I think some of his shit is, I'm not even gonna say the word because I don't want him nerfed. I really like it. He's like a hidden secret from the world, I think. Like, no one understands how much damage he really does. It's sickening. If you get his ultimate up to level 20 and then you walk up and pop your serum and get your 10 stacks of Bloodlust and then do your ultimate, pretty much everyone in your screen is going to take, I don't even know how many hits it hits. I don't even know how many times it hits. 18 hits, I think, with a grenade finisher. I mean, I don't know what Just Stay Down is. Always deals a critical hit. You're invulnerable for the whole time. He does a grenade finisher and 18 hits of physical damage per hit. So, I shit you not, I think every time that I've seen numbers pop up, it is definitely always like a critical. But then, because it's always a critical, you have a really good chance of it being a brutal because you're already at the critical level, so it's only 50% chance of running a brutal. And if you do hit a brutal, I shit you not, it's like 9 million every time. So like, you'll get in the center of one of those packs of like 5 bosses with your 10 stacks of Bloodlust, and you pop his ultimate, and look the fuck out, man. Everyone's melting, like now. And then when that's done, you go right into your advanced technique and just shred. So he just puts it down, man. His DPS is nuts. DPS is balls. I gotta get rid of these so I can actually pick shit up. I don't know why I'm not on my team up that I need to level. That's another trick, guys, for those of you that are still watching this bullshit video. Switch to your team up that you want to level before you pop these Midtown boxes, because every one of those little balls of experience will level up people. That's another way of leveling up your alts too. I think that works. I think it does. I'm not sure. Maybe you're locked at 60, but you could pop them over here and then come over here and switch and then run through the field of dreams, if you will. Anyways, guys, let's switch characters. Let's get done with this damn list. It's taken so long for me to get through this. So number 2 spot, I got to go with Ant-Man, and I think this might be the only thing that I agree with as far as top 10 characters, and that's totally cool. This game is meant for everyone to play the way they want to play, but I definitely agree with the other YouTuber on Ant-Man being in the top 3. He is so much fun. I like him in the movies. I was a huge comic book fan of his before, like in the Avengers Alliance, cartoon series and shit like that I watched as a kid. And then also the fact that Paul Rudd and, Hank Pym are, I guess what he's all about. But his shrinking abilities, especially this one, I only have 1 point in it, but this ability is sick. I mean, just visually, it is so fun to just run around at this size. And no one can see you. His build, this is like Ant-Man's only downfall, is he really doesn't have that many viable builds, but the ones that he does have are really, really good. And his melee build that I have, it works really well against a lot of hard content areas, and you can just dish out a lot of damage over a lot of area and stay alive really well. And I'm going to throw this out there now, and I know I've said this quite a bit, and I probably use this term too loosely, but I think his signature and his ultimate might be some of the best ones in the game, because his signature gives him so much health, does so much damage, can be kept up indefinitely, and then his ultimate, I think, is actually one of the strongest ones in the game besides maybe Doom and now Deadpool. But this move right here, it does so much damage, man. You gotta get your ant stacks up so you can lay down some of this shit. Red hots. Do some big uppercuts. So basically you just lock onto a guy, apply your 2 dot layers on him, keep your stomp on him. He just has a lot of good AoE, a lot of DPS, and you can just stick to people, man, and with med kits involved, you can just really pour it on a boss and soak up a ton of damage. And he's got, good mobility too. But this signature, dude, it's so good. I mean, who else can just instantly buff their health that much? And it gains him spirit back. It's health. Permanent health gain, spirit gain, tons of damage, and then his fucking ultimate. Let's just go shred Midtown with this real quick. This thing is it lasts so long, and it's so good. I don't know, did I just discover a secret for finding more Attorney Splinters? I feel like I did, because I'm getting so fucking many. It's incredible. Ran through. But yeah, just being able to do this in Midtown and just turn small as you sift through your shit is really nice. And this is another reason why I don't use a team up on Ant-Man, is because when he's in his tiny form, guys shouldn't be able to follow me and see me, but it sure as hell looks like they are. I don't know why. Maybe that's a bug. I wish they'd stop shooting at me. It's hilarious running around as him. But anyways, guys, his gameplay is actually really interesting and fun, and he's got some good survivability. The ant mechanics, this right here, where you get your little ant pile, super cool that it just goes out and finds its own targets, and that you can use them for activating other abilities. It really, really helps with spirit management, having 2 primary resources like this. All of his ant moves, they don't cost you any spirit at all. So between the 2, if you learn how to balance them, for lower level characters, leveling, he's really easy to level. That's why I have him at red prestige, because he doesn't have any spirit issues. Alright, so again, I didn't put on the team up, or the pet, but that's my number 2 spot, guys. And I'm sure if any of you have watched any of my videos, you'll know exactly who I'm going for my number 1 spot, and he will probably always remain my number 1 character. And if it's not hard to tell by my character list who it is, it's Mr. Fantastic. And I guarantee this is no one else's number 1 pick. And I almost like him more for that reason. He is just such a hidden gem, I think. Of course, you're playing with Miss Marvel, so double stretchy power. Wow, my chair is really going to town right now. But anyways, he's just such an interesting, goofy character, and just has such good damage output. He's Mr. Big Numbers. And for all those of you who are just watching this and have never seen this activate before, he's got one of the only moves in the game that allows you to just straight double up your signatures. Yeah, just he has a move that just says, fuck cooldowns, I'm just going to get all my moves back. And that has so many utilities, it's unbelievable. His spheroid just is probably by far one of his best moves, and you can activate it twice. And Outwit is such a cool mechanic. It allows your cooldowns to be wiped away completely. It allows them to put out more damage when they are on cooldown. It allows your cooldowns to be reduced by 1 second when you hit a critical. He's just, people don't like him because he's clunky, and he does have some bugs where he doesn't, hit certain boxes and things like that, but his positron emitter, which I haven't even done yet, is probably one of the most satisfying moves in the game, I think. And besides blades like grenade throw, just lasering the shit out of people. And then the big fist. He pumps out some damage. He's got good survivability. He's got the Herbie assistant. He's got the 2 field arrays to choose from, or the 2 different auras to choose from. He's got the wheel, which is his movement. It's kind of hard to steer, but you get used to it. But yeah, his DPS is crazy. Let's just do his ultimate. His ultimate is his worst feature, in my opinion. If they can rework his ultimate, that'd be fucking awesome. But yeah, these guys are going bye-bye. Ooh, Hydra Spotlight and the medallion. I don't know. I guess I must have had to kill him. Tillion? Sure, I'll take that. Anyways, guys, I definitely have the most time played and the most gear investment in Mr. Fantastic, and if you put time and effort into him, he can be absolutely amazing. I'd say some of my most proud gear that I have on him is probably his costume. This took a lot of time to get, and money, which is embarrassing, but it's true. This Spider-Man insignia is just unbelievable. I found that. This mini Gawk, I love this thing. I don't know, guys. I just have a lot of time and effort into him, and he's rewarding me with quite a bit of gameplay and time. And if you don't play Mr. Fantastic, that's fine. I mean, it's almost more fun to be a character that no one plays in my eyes. But I highly recommend you guys give him a shot. You might find him very fun. His build is very methodical. It takes a lot of focus to do his moves in the right sequence, which keeps his gameplay really engaging. And once you master him, he can really put out some DPS. And also, his spheroid is just so much fun to just turn into a giant ball, man. Cruise around town. This is one of the cool things you can do. You can throw a car while you're in ball form. I'm not sure too many people know that. But yeah, let's just get another bouncy ball. Big numbers. And then you attach out, and then just spew even more big numbers at them. When they line up in a line like that, that is bad news for them. And then also, he's one of the only characters I know that just has basically like a built-in med kit. This inflate move just instantaneously does damage and just heals his health back. Not too many characters that can just pop instant health. I mean, some of them have like regen mechanics, but just instantaneous health gain, I don't know. Really don't know. But anyways, guys, that's my top 10 heroes. Let's pick these up and get the hell out of here. Unless this is... Okay, there we go. Definitely don't want a Ziggurat again. But anyways, let's get out of here. Go ahead and go invulnerable. We'll end the video here inside of the training room where we started. I don't know how you guys feel about my top 10 list, but hopefully I opened some of your eyes a little bit. You'll notice that I'm not a huge fan of a lot of the like super mainstream characters that everyone likes to play. And when I did not choose them for this list, that doesn't mean that they're bad, and it's not that I dislike them. It's just that I enjoyed the characters in my top 10 list a little bit more, and that's why I chose them to be on my list. If you have a different list, then leave it in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. And if there's any questions you have about anyone in my top 10, I'd be happy to help you or make a build video or something along those lines if I didn't cover that already enough. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, subscribe for more content. I'm going to try to get back on the ball. Super excited about some of the things coming to this game, and that Mr. Fantastic's getting a fucking update. That's the best news I've ever heard. So, again, guys, appreciate your time, and I'll see you next time.